In this edition of the Parliament Report, MP warns about the ill effects of decriminalising ganja. Contractor General reports slam 2 government ministers. And proposed law to regulate charitable organisations tabled in Parliament. Member of Parliament for North West St Anne, Dr. Dayton Campbell, has warned against the negative effects of decriminalising marijuana in Jamaica. Dr. Campbell, who is a medical practitioner, was making his contribution to debate on a private member's motion moved by North East St Elizabeth MP Raymond Price. Campbell made it clear that he had a duty to his profession to highlight the harmful effects of smoking ganja. Despite strong arguments from Price about the acquisition of criminal records by young men for smoking of ganja spliff, a small portion of ganja, Dr. Campbell cautioned that studies made a direct link between the smoking of cannabis and mental illness. He acknowledged that Jamaica could benefit from research and subsequent development of useful cannabis products like Canasol and Asmasol. However, he noted that the beneficial components of cannabis could only be derived from unsmoked products. The government MP called for research to determine whether there was a direct link between smoking and mental alterations and crime. Contractor General Dirk Harrison has alleged improper conduct on the part of 2 government ministers in separate projects. His allegations are contained in 2 separate reports tabled in the House of Representatives on September 17. In a report on the right to supply 360 megawatts of power to the national grid, Harrison described as inappropriate the intervention of Minister of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining, Philip Paulwell, into the tender process for the construction of the power plant. Minister Paulwell was also criticized for his alleged role in the acceptance of one of the bidders after the deadline had been set. In a quick response following the release of the report, Paulwell dismissed the Contractor General's findings. He said, and I quote, "I am fighting for Jamaica's very future, and I will not be derailed from my objective," end of quote. At the same time, Contractor General Dirk Harrison has recommended that due consideration be given to instituting appropriate disciplinary action against Richard Azan in accordance with the Westminster model of governance. The suggestion has been made in a 140-page report on Azan's involvement in the so-called Spalding Market Shops scandal. The Contractor General said Azan's actions were at best politically corrupt. Harrison has referred the matter to the Director of Public Prosecutions to determine if the politician and others should be charged for conspiracy to defraud the revenue of the Clarendon Parish Council. The Contractor General said Azan, who is a junior minister in the Transport Works and Housing Ministry, through his actions, has brought into disrepute the Clarendon Parish Council. Proposed legislation to regulate charitable organizations in Jamaica was tabled in the House of Representatives on September 17. The bill seeks to implement government policy on the introduction of a single piece of legislation that provides for the regulation of charitable organizations operating in Jamaica. The proposed law also seeks to establish a comprehensive legal and institutional framework for charitable organizations. And now for the documents tabled in Parliament. The Clerk to the Houses of Parliament, Heather Cook, laid on the table of the House of Representatives the following. This has been another edition of the Parliament Report. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, I'm Edmund Campbell saying, walk good.